Hello and welcome to Cooking with Mandy. So for next week we're going to make homemade quiche. So I'm going to just make the pastry now so that you can blind bake it and you'll know what to do before we put our ingredients into the quiche. So in my bowl I have 8 ounces of plain flour and 8 ounces of margarine, cold margarine, and I've just brought it together with my fingertips to resemble breadcrumbs, so that's what you have here in the bowl. To this I'm going to make a little well in the centre and I'm going to add in some water. Now I've just a small jug of water and I'm going to add it by degrees because I don't want my pastry to be wet. But if you need to add it in, you can, rather than trying to, well obviously you can't take it out, you know. So that's a bit dry now, so I'm going to add another little drop there. So there's so many ways to fill quiches, and it's a great way of using up leftovers that you have in your fridge, and the quiche will freeze perfectly. Now with the pastry amount that I'm making today, I'm just going to add in another little bit there. The pastry amount, I'm going to use a portion of it, and the rest of it I'm going to pop in a freezer bag and put it in my fridge for the next time that I need to use pastry. So this is all coming together nicely now, and I just have a little drop left there to mix in. So what we want is, we want a good clean bowl. Yep. So I'm going to pop this out here. The reason I used plain flour is because we don't need pastry to rise, so therefore the plain flour will do the job perfectly. And just with your hands, just put all the little pieces in, gather it all up, and there we have our pastry very quickly made. Okay, so I'm just going to take a little portion off there, and the rest of it I'm going to pop in my freezer bag for use the next time. Now ideally the pastry should be put into the fridge to chill for a little, maybe say half an hour, and that's just to make the pastry more pliable. But for the purpose of the video, I'm just going to continue on with rolling it out so that you can see how I fill the pastry or the quiche base. So I hope you can see that there now. Just putting that aside, I'll pull that down a little bit there so that you can see. So I'm just going to roll it out, and I put a little bit of flour down, so just to stop it sticking, and it's going to need another little bit. Now I'm using an 8-inch foil quiche tray today, and this much pastry is ideal for the size of the tray that I'm going to use. Okay, so that should be enough now, and this is my foil tray which I've just lightly greased with a little bit of margarine. So popping that in and pressing it down into the sides. Now there's no need to trim it at this stage because the pastry will shrink a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to glaze this with a little egg wash, and what that does is it stops any leakage later on when you're putting your quiche filling into the tray. Okay, so here I have some parchment paper and some dried peas, and I'm popping these on top here, and that's basically to minimize the shrinkage in it. I'm going to pop it in the oven for about 10 to 15 minutes, and then you have your pastry blind baked. So that's step 1 of the quiche. So I'll show you the fillings in the next video. Have a lovely day. Bye.